The lawyer cleared his throat. My wife didn't bother hiding her smile. $10? She said, soft and sharp at the same time. I always knew you were a failure. She stood, left, heels clicking like punctuation marks on my life. My brother laughed, the kind of laugh that assumes the room belongs to him. I said nothing. I stared at the bill in my hand, old, creased, warm, like it had been waiting. My father never wasted ink. He never wasted moves. He had quietly marked something on it. I learned restraint from him. Not love, restraint. Love is loud. Restraint wins. When my wife and I met, she loved my silence, called it depth. She liked that I listened, that I let her talk. I watched her measure rooms the way traders measure risk. I ignored it. People show you who they are. You decide when to believe them. My brother always took the spotlight. I took notes. Father taught us differently. He taught my brother how to spend. He taught me how to see. The betrayal didn't arrive screaming. It arrived as patterns, late nights that didn't smell like work, accounts that moved like water around me. My brother's hand on my shoulder, heavy, confident. You okay, little man? I didn't confront, I audited. I didn't cry, I copied files. There was a message I wasn't meant to see, a draft she forgot to delete, a calendar invite mislabeled, a shell company with a familiar attorney. I kept breathing slow. I kept my face neutral. Control is a language. I speak it fluently. When father got sick, they circled. My brother moved money with the swagger of inheritance. My wife practiced sympathy in the mirror. I practiced patience. Father called me once, late. His voice was thin but precise. People confuse noise for power, he said. Look for marks. I didn't understand then. I do now. The will reading ended with applause for my brother's fortune. He shook hands, promised generosity. I folded the $10 bill and slid it into my wallet like a secret. At the bank, the manager took it between gloved fingers. His eyes flicked to the watermark, to the serial, to the corner where father had pressed a faint, almost invisible star. He froze. "Sir," he said carefully, "please come with me." The room went quiet. Money always hushes a room when it recognizes blood. Behind glass, he explained what the star meant, a private designation, a bearer instrument, old world, legal, quiet, the kind father favored. The $10 wasn't money, it was a key. I didn't rush. I never rush. I let my wife file. I let my brother celebrate. Then I began to execute. First, I redeemed the key. Not in cash, never in cash, in access, in disclosures, in contingencies father had buried under layers of compliance like landmines with manners, trusts that activated only on insult, clauses triggered by abandonment, audit rights disguised as gifts. Second, I made calls, 3, each to people my brother believed he owned, people who prefer certainty to loyalty. I gave them certainty. Third, I waited. My wife called me when the alimony numbers didn't make sense. I didn't answer. She texted when her accounts paused. She drove to my brother's penthouse when the texts stopped delivering. That night, my brother called. No laughter now, just static fear. "What did you do?" he asked. I said nothing. Silence is a mirror. It shows people themselves. The confrontation came in a boardroom father once used to fire a man without raising his voice. My brother arrived red-eyed. My wife sat 2 chairs away, suddenly very interested in her hands. I slid the $10 bill across the table. "Read the footnotes," I said. They did, slowly, painfully. The trusts he'd bragged about? Performance-based, reversible. The shell company my wife used? Father-owned, dormant, waiting for misuse. The lawyer they trusted? Bound to report misuse directly to a committee that answers to a single vote. Mine. My brother started arguing. I let him. Words are expensive when you don't own the room. My wife tried charm, apology, tears. I watched the clock. Then the last clause activated, the one father saved for disappointment. The fortune didn't vanish, it moved into a foundation with my name, with rules, with oversight, with salaries capped and bonuses audited, with zero tolerance for self-dealing. My brother slumped. My wife stood up too fast, the way people do when gravity betrays them. "You planned this," she said. I nodded, once. After, I sat alone. Relief doesn't shout, it exhales. I thought about father, about marks, about the discipline of waiting, about how betrayal thinks it's clever because it's loud. The $10 bill is framed on my wall now, not as a trophy, as a reminder. Power doesn't need witnesses, justice doesn't need applause, and silence, properly used, writes the cleanest ending.